Talk about Joe Masella. I apologize for my voice. I'm a little sick. I'll do the best I can for you, okay? Masella, he was called Joey O. He was an associate of the New Jersey DeCavalcante family. He may have played a role, maybe, possibly, in the 1998 failed Brinks bank robbery at the World Trade Center in Manhattan for 1.6 million. This happened on January 14th, 1998. The robbery was planned and was pulled off by this guy, Ralph Guarino. He was a small-time criminal. He had acting ambitions. He had slight connection with the Jersey DeCavalcante family. From an inside sources, he just sources this guy, Salvatore Calciano. Calciano provided Guarino with all building securities, schedules, where the cameras were, all that sort of thing, and what time the armored car showed up to go into the bank to deliver more money and take money out. He also, Guarino, managed to get his hands on an employee's badge. I should say, Calcino was in the janitorial crew, so he could steal just about anything he wanted. He had free run of the building, and he did. So Calciano and Guarino, they decide, let's rob the bank. Why not? And they recruited some guys, Richie Gillette, Melvin Folk, and Mike Reed. On January 14th, 1998, as I said, the five of them robbed 1.6 million in 1998 dollars from the armored car delivery. It was a quick job, boom, in and out. Falk and Reed, they didn't have masks on, so Falk and Reed were almost immediately identified and arrested. Gillette was arrested. He took off to Mexico, but they found him and locked him up just a few days later. Guarino was arrested next. So he wasn't going to do jail time. He said, look, I'll be an informant. I want to tell you everything I know. I'm in deep with the North Jersey mobs. So how that happened was Guarino knew Vincent Palermo, Vinny Ocean, he was called. He's a ranking member of the DeCavalcante family, and Palermo placed Guarino with his driver and his longtime friend Joey O. Masella. Masella was a failed bookmaker. He had a lot of problems, what it is, he liked to talk and complain about the inner workings of the family. He was never happy. So Guarino, in the meantime, is now working for the FBI, and he records every word of this stuff. Joey O had known Vincent Palermo for years and years and years, and Palermo liked him, and he originally tried to make him his protege. And he gave him this teeny crew that included James Gallo and Anthony Capo. I put pictures and idea of them here for you. But Joey O was a pathological gambler, and over the years he was constantly broke, and he owed everybody money. The FBI figured he owed around 450,000 in 1998 dollars to a series of mobsters, not guys you want to owe money to, and a lot of them were in the Gambino crime family. But Masala, by the way, still lived in Brooklyn, so even though he was a Jew. So Palermo eventually just had no use for this guy. He was a gambler. He owed everybody money. He was just not the man he thought he would be. Then Palermo learned that Masala was trying to get in with the Scarfo family over in Philadelphia so he could start anew. So Palermo told Joey O that, you've worn out your my need for you. So you want to get back in my good graces. You got to go over and kill this capo who works with me, Charlie Maggiore. At that time, there was a three-man council that ran the North Jersey mobs. So Joey O figures, all right, if that'll make you happy. He goes over, he surveils Maggiore's house. In the meantime, there's a state trooper who lives next door to me, and he's surveilling Joey O. So anyway, Joey O thinks, I'm not going to go through with this. He's not going to murder. He moves to Florida. He doesn't tell anybody, and he refused the contract. He refuses to kill this guy. So at that point, he was just of no use to anybody in organized crime. In October 1998, Masella gets a phone call from this bookmaker named Steve, and that he said he's going to pay him 10 grand that he owed him. He wanted to deliver it. He had an outstanding debt with him. He said, I'll tell you what, meet me at the Diker Beach Park and Golf Course in the parking lot over in Brooklyn. Masella went there, and he, of course, was shot and killed when he arrived. Alleged DeCavalcante associate Anthony Greco, who's now in Las Vegas or Nevada anyway, was charged with the murder. Allegedly, before Greco killed Masella, he asked him, do you know what's going to happen to you right now? Wow, that's cool. So, again, that's allegedly. So eventually, Wesley, the kid, Palosico, I may not have pronounced it correctly. He was another degenerate gambler. He was also indicted in the murder. The government said that Palacio was the one, Steve, was the one who called Masella and told him to follow the parking lot. The murder charges against Palacio and Greco were later dropped. They couldn't make a case against him. A week after Joey O's murder, Guarino, this is the guy who robbed the bank, remember? He's gone undercover now with the North Jersey mob. He gets assigned to this guy, Joey Scalafini, called a Tinier. And Scalafini is another disgruntled member of the mob. He's getting older. He thinks he's been passed up over and over again, so he does nothing but whine and complain. Again, Guarino's recording all this stuff. So, from Guarino, the FBI learned that the DeCavalcante family was run by this ruling panel that the boss, John Richie, had set up before he was sent off to prison. So, Vincent Palermo's on that committee. And he wanted complete control of the family. So Palermo ordered a team to kill the veteran capo Frank D'Amato. Guarino was placed on a hit team. Of course, he's on so he can make bones, I guess, as they say. And they know they could trust him. He would murder somebody and then they'd make him into the family, apparently. But the murder never came off. And after that, Tinier proposed Guarino, of all things, from membership in the DeCavalcante family, even though he hadn't done anything to deserve it. The FBI then, because it looked like they were going to make this guy, the FBI then pulled Guarino out of the family and into the witness protection program. Apparently, he's still there today because it's very difficult to find a photo of him anywhere. Ancestry, newspapers, general files. FBI has been at play, I think. So on December 2, 1999, the feds arrested 40 members and associates of the North Jersey mob, including Palermo, who almost immediately agreed to cooperate with the government. And that, by the way, caused this thing where almost everybody at some point joined us to become a government partner. Joe Masella. So let me tell you something else. Almost exactly 49 years before Masella got his in a Brooklyn parking lot, there's this other guy, Joe Masella, who was a Brooklyn pimp, and he ended up dead and tossed in a vacant lot in Brooklyn in 1929. Someone shot him in the back of the head. So what happened is, when the cops went through his pockets, they found a love letter from this woman, Mrs. Evelyn Rizzo, at 237 East 12th Street. It turned out that Masella, the dead guy, the pimp, and Rizzo had been secretly living together, and that Rizzo had previously lived with his bootlegger named Patsy Borrello. Then Borrello went to Sing Sing because he robbed the bank, he got caught, and Rizzo left him for Masella. And Borrello finds out, and he's issuing death threats. He said, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill Masella. And apparently that's exactly what he did.